Hello and welcome to Business Class. My name is Shantanu Prakash, and today we have a very special founder and entrepreneur on our show, Deepak Choudhary. He is the founder of India's largest festival and events IP company. When I met him for the first time, I didn't know what that meant, but during the course of the interview, we will find out from Deepak in his own words, how did he become the founder of such a specialized company, and you're the largest such company in India. So Deepak, take us back in time and tell us about your journey.
Thank you for getting me here. I think it started with a small town called Narnaul. It is in Haryana. Much early in life, got out of the city.
Agricultural town.
Agricultural town, completely. Yes. My parents are in business of mustard and mustard oil, and but no good schools. I think they saw the vision. Let get this boy out so that he does something. And I got an opportunity where they put me in Dehradun in one of the good schools called Hill Grange. And at the age of 4.5, I was there. And journey started with being in a hostel, staying away from the family, spending some years there. Thought it was too early actually to be true, to be in a hostel, and realized maybe too loneliness. Got out of hostel and went to till 5th, 6th standard I was there, and then moved to Delhi. Spent in the beginning years of Delhi in a schooling.
Again in hostel.
Again in hostel.
Okay.
And a school called Lancers Convent in Delhi, and I was there till 12th standard. Little of what you will hear in the past of the course, its events interest was still there in the school also. In the little of events I kept on doing.
So all schools do these events, annual days
completely.
And carnivals. And so were you part of all of those things?
I was fascinated there. I was not getting that important roles, but I was still fascinated on doing those things. But wanted to pursue business as a career. The obvious choice was doing a business management program. Choice was to get into, at that time BMS was limited. I got admission in Indore in one of the college called International Institute of Professional Studies, IIPS, Devi Alaya University. A good college, got a program which was a 5 years program of Masters of Management Sciences, and got into Indore, lovely city with I think a fantastic food, fantastic environment. In those 3 years of graduation, while I was in Indore, realized that over there I took, I think events happened in my life. I became the head of events in college, and very fascinated on little of smaller events, larger events, festivals, and so on. But the twist came when 5 of us friends we were sharing a flat, and somebody said, let's go to Bombay. I said, and we really didn't have monies at that time. One of the parents was in railways, did somehow tickets, some managed in the railway apartments. We got house to stay, and somehow in the morning we got out and got down in Bombay. Got down to the station, said let's first time all of us saw Bombay, fascinated about this city, what a city was. Went to Taj to see. Somebody told us, go to Taj, go to Gateway of India. First, we used the washroom of Taj. It was very, very exciting. We didn't see this part of there was a life to this part. I'm saying we were all North Indians who were living in maybe not such towers also.
And Indore is a small town. They don't have such fancy places like the Taj. Taj is an iconic property, right? Yeah.
No, and overall, the largeness of Bombay was largeness of Bombay. You can't beat that. And when I actually stepped here, I said, this is the city I want to be in. This is the city I think will take some of my, whatever said and done Indore, you feel that you're done. You're done with the city. You want to do a lot more. Okay, so and I was fascinated to business. I was fascinated, maybe a little glamorous. I was wanting to do something in the entertainment industry, something in the event industry at that time only, and thought Bombay is where it belonged to. Stayed in Bombay, somehow hustled to get the admission in an MBA course. I was late, but managed to get in MBA. 2 years of MBA.
So you dropped out of your course in Indore and bag and baggage
Completely.
just shifted to
So
Mumbai.
no, so yeah, it was I think it was a 5-year program. Chose to leave in between without telling parents. After 3 years, left the course, came into Bombay. I didn't tell my parents because I thought they will get worried and why he's going to Bombay in such a large city. But without telling them, came here. Dropped out, worried about will I get the admission, but still took a chance and somehow got the admission. I think that was a...
And you must be all of 20-ish?
Yes, I was 20-year-old.
So that's actually a big decision when you're 20 to drop out of college, land up in Mumbai without admission. You know, what if it hadn't worked out? You went back to Indore, they would have said, sorry, you're too late. Go back home.
Go back home.
And you would be back to Narnaul.
Completely. Yes, that maybe, yeah. And that would have been a full circle of life, and I had to, so took that risk, I think.
Yes.
Took that risk. I think the largeness of it, I said, let's take the risk of it. So started the journey in Bombay, MBA college started, first year of MBA got over. Realized that I was in the business management piece, but still the dream of event management, the glamorous piece, the entertainment piece was not going out of me. And I joined a school in event management called NIEM in my second year of my MBA, while in parallel I was doing an event management program.
Okay, was it like evening classes or something like that?
It was a part-time program, so it was easy for me. While doing my MBA, I was pursuing the same. As you go there, started doing events. So while in a program, you get to work on some events also. Started doing small events. Realized there were too many people in it. I thought I'll be the only person doing event management, and in this process realized there are hundreds of people who are doing event management.
In India, there are hundreds of people doing hundreds of things. In everything, there are hundreds of people.
Correct. But no, at that time, I think I thought that it was too early. I think 2000, today you see event management has grown to another level. But at that time, it was too early. I thought there is event management as an industry, but there are not too many people. But after seeing that process of going through that, I said a lot of people. Now the idea came in, then there are a lot of people. Why don't I start a school in event management?
So from being a student, you wanted to own a school in event management.
So that happened. So there was no plan of it. I think while sitting in the classroom of the event school, I said it's not difficult to create this. You have to get few teachers, and there is a demand. And I think you can create a better system. So the idea came from there. Idea was very cheated from the existing setup, and I said let's create this in a better format. And that was a simple idea. Went back to college, thought of it. Okay, idea has come. Now what? Again, difficult to ask money from the family. They will say, it's still the college, study, do a job. Why you want to start a business? Realized there was a senior of mine in college, and who became the faculty at college, Jimmy. She's my wife now. But at that time, there was no intention to make her a wife that time. It was a pure intention of, I saw that she knew the chairman of the college, of the management college. She had some money. I said, will you support me in this? And I think she said, okay, let me try. I think let me give it a chance. And she got in with me, and there another colleague, Nowshir engineer, a classmate of mine. He had a good job with IISM Bank. I said, Nowshir, why will you help me? And he was not getting convinced to join me. I went to his mother to convince that, Auntie, will you allow Nowshir to work with me? And somehow convinced her. The Nowshir didn't get convinced, but Auntie got convinced, and three of us started what was called EMDI. EMDI
so this is a classic example of how you hustled your way through starting your own business. So this is very interesting. So you guys very entrepreneurial. You start your first college, and you see that it's working.
Right.
Okay, and using that data point,
right,
you essentially hyper explode.
Correct.
Okay, all 7 cities in India. And then brand extensions,
right?
Sports management, PR management, advertising management courses. That was a lot to do During what span of time did you do all of these things?
This was 3 to 4 years, I think, from 2002 to 2006. And 2006, 2007. See, the fixed cost was same. We realized when the fixed cost is same and it's all the other costs are variable, why don't we kept adding programs? We kept on investing in good people. We kept on getting deans, director. So we hired professionals. So it's not that over here we didn't become ambitious of just doing ourselves. We hired professionals over here. And we hired a dean of the school who we were calling sir. The dean was working for us, but we were calling sir because the shape a professional had to take a shape. We had a professor called Anant Rangaswamy who became the dean of our school. So yeah, I think in this whole the process of building up the school, we saw the geographies, we saw the length and breadth of different industries. Radio was a different industry or a PR was a different industry. We built those relationships with those industries in this whole process too.
So very busy time of your life.
Right.
But now when you look back,
right.
What do you think were the probably things that you shouldn't have done to grow at this kind of hyper scale? Because a lot of entrepreneurs face similar dilemmas. Should you go fast? Should you go slow? And there are no clear-cut textbook answers to these. But when you do sort of reflect back, what is the insight that you can derive from this phase of your life?
So, till today, I don't have that answer, to be true. What is right can be right for something and may not be. But I think the learning, do it first one right, okay? And then little establish that and go slow. I think first observation of the whole piece. Second, build systems. I think we in the process of growth we had built systems. Okay, it didn't. So some mistakes which we faced a lot of issues later on. Okay, but yes, that's the learning I would like to come along. Another phase of movement where was the learning is while you choose, when you build debts and now you've grown faster, people are excited about your business, they want to invest in your business. And that's where, so this investment and partnership and I said, let's grow with getting more investment in the company. I think that was the exciting phase. We saw a lot of companies asking for us, this institute has grown, these people have grown, young entrepreneurs have grown, let's acquire them. I think a lot of companies wanted to invest with us. While choose a right investor. Why you're getting an investor is some of the questions you should ask.
Yes, these absolutely relevant questions.
Right.
So, but what are the answers to these questions?
Right.
Who is a right investor? Who is not a right investor? What should you look for in investors?
See, I'll tell you, sometimes you have to make a choice. I think either you're looking for a financial investor, or you're looking for somebody who's a strategic investor, can give you a growth in the business domain you are in, okay? Or you're looking at somebody who's giving you maybe the backward-forward integration of that particular space in some other geography or domain. I'm saying it depends on the business business scale you want to achieve. How there was always a plan of jumping on from one business to another, and over here I got an opportunity because of my wife's passion to invest or start a restaurant business.
A restaurant business.
Yeah. So
that's very
again, there is no connectivity of any of the other businesses. Difficult business, to be true. No experience. I think learning here again. Don't get into something which is not related.
By the time you got so much of experience in doing
I thought
so many
this will also
things,
work.
So you thought I can run any business.
I think that was the phase. That was the phase where decision was let's get the best chef and the best place, and we created a high-end Italian restaurant, and it was a super success. While it was a super success, we had a tough time to run that business. It is not an easy business to run a restaurant. It is, you're working 24 hours, people are sleeping on holidays, you're working on holidays. Licensing became a challenge. A small one waiter not coming in became a challenge. Chefs not coming in became a challenge, and it was a nightmare of business. We realized it's somebody who understands, like people like Shetty's, they can do this business better.
So the interesting thing, Deepak, is that while you said that customers loved your product in the restaurant,
right,
the business from a numbers perspective was not working.
Right.
So there are two parts of any business.
Correct.
There is a front end and then there is a back end.
Right.
And both have to work in tandem together. So if you have an awesome front end but a lousy back end, the business is going to fail.
Completely.
And the other way around as well. If you're only systems and processes but not a seductive product for the customer, again the business is going to fail. So is that something that you realize
exactly.
that you need to invest in both sides at the same time?
Completely. The front end was easy because we were all marketing people, servicing people. It was easy. It was, people used to think these are magical people. Back end, we were disaster. I think we invested well, but we didn't know what is right and wrong. I think that you're completely right. If you've spent, and we realize actually you've not spent your years of working in that particular segment. I think so. As founders, also we should take a deep understanding of what you're getting into. It should be some ecosystem of yours has to work around that.
In terms of what you mean is, core competence.
Core competence.
Like you must understand very deeply at a granular level or a molecular level what you're going to do. I mean, there is no substitute for domain knowledge.
Right.
Isn't it?
Completely.
Either you have it or you
don't have it.
Or you acquire it.
Yeah.
Or you get somebody in the team member who's maybe done 10 years, 15 years of restaurant business. So after the restaurant business, what did Deepak Choudhary think of doing?
No, so this time the thinking didn't happen. I think it happened at the restaurant. So sometimes it says, when you don't wait for it and that thing comes in your current, so restaurant was failing somewhere. I think that was the reason somebody said, it's not failing. Let me make you meet a person who will make this successful. So over here, the change happened, and we used to make a great pasta. And a gentleman called Alok Jalan, who's a promoter of a company called Laqshya Media Group, came to eat pasta with his wife, and he was loving the meal. And he said, "Can I ask the waiter? Can I meet the owner of the restaurant?" And there, I met him. He said, "What do you do?" And today, Event Capital got started with Laqshya Media Group.
So that's a fascinating story.
Right.
So it's just out of the blue, somebody walks in to have a meal in your restaurant, and through your passion, you converted him into a business partner.
So completely. No, I think you don't plan for it again. But yeah, it was you don't wait for it, but you don't realize where it comes to you. Yeah. So I think that came as a business opportunity. I wanted to start an event business. I wanted to get into event ecosystem again, and Mr. Jalan invested in my plans this time.
So what is Event Capital? Tell us more about it.
So I'll tell you the whole ecosystem of EMDI and EventFaqs gave the birth. I didn't want to become an event manager. Yeah, so I didn't want to manage events. But I said, if to remain or to make a size and scalable in the event business, we see a lot of event managers are creating these IPs. You hear a festival called a Sunburn or a Supersonic or IFA. These are all festivals and large event IPs, or like a marathon. I said there are companies who are doing one or two, or there are people who are doing one or two IPs. I said, let's create a business of it by consolidating this business and creating the business out of IPs.
A very unique way of looking at things.
Yeah, maybe. So again, that allowed through my ecosystem because I knew these event managers. I think the thought process came from, you know them, they will trust you. Why don't you go to them and tell them, can I partner with you? And build that economy of scale. So build a strength of running an IP business. We didn't invest in production operations because we knew that strength an event company has.
So are you a big believer in maintaining and nurturing relationships?
Very high, very high. If you talk to any event person, I know them well. It's not about they knowing me. I know all of them around the country. So it is a relationship which has been nurtured for years. Yeah. So it is very important. Today's business is that for an entrepreneur it is important. If you're seeing that direction, it is important. If you don't build on relationships, there's no business. Yeah. So coming back to the ecosystem of Event Capital got created out of these relationships, out of fantastic ideas what people were believing in. I said, let's partner those ideas. And we created a company. It's now the fastest and largest IP and event IP and festivals company. We end up creating a lot of festivals. Like, say, for example, the most famous of our festival is Bollywood Music Project. It's the largest festival in the Bollywood music space. So when you say Supersonic or Sunburn, they were created out of DJs. We actually put the largest Bollywood people on stage. We get 60 people in one stage. For 2 days festival in Bombay at Geo Gardens and Delhi at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. get these people to perform and so on and so forth. And we do a kids festival, we do a gadget and gizmos show, we do a bridal fashion week called India Bridal Fashion Week. So end up into many industries, but using the skill set of these event management companies and curators, partnered, structured those deals, and today that's a business.
That's really fantastic to hear how you put a very unique business together. So what's the future of event management business in a country like India? I mean, we hear of events in big cities, but the dilemma in India is still a country that is struggling for the basics.
Right.
So in a country like this, with hundreds of small, tier 1, tier 2 places like, Indore and Raipur and
right.
So on, where does events fit into this entire vision? We are going to become $5 trillion economy and 21st century superpower. What is the role of events in all of this?
So I'll answer this in 2-3 parts. One, somebody said, actually Disney said, if you invest in entertainment business won't stop, it'll keep growing. As you make more money, entertainment business will grow. I think that was the base of the whole piece. But I feel event industry, somebody says it's 7,000 to 8,000 crore rupees industry, okay, but I believe it's more than 1 lakh crore rupees industry. Yeah, I'll tell you, the lot of people are forgetting that wedding industry itself is 30 to 40,000 crore rupees industry. Yeah, it's part of ecosystem. Exhibition industry itself is a 1 lakh crore rupees industry, huge industry which gives a job. All these reality shows you see, the part of the event ecosystem. Okay, one is the corporate events, seminar, exhibitions, conference, road shows, promotions. This corporate events, it'll keep growing as and when the ATL is becoming expensive and irrelevant. So digital and activation have taken bigger space. Okay. Second is sports. Sports coming in the event business is going to be a big one. But actually, the biggest one will be IPs. Okay, I'm a big believer on it that you have to build assets. It happened around the world that as an event agency, you can keep managing somebody else's events, but brands will be more keen to come to IPs. Okay, they will have more stickiness to IPs. IPs is the big future for the event industry.
So Deepak, you've had an interesting journey so far. So now whatever you're doing, are you doing it for the rush that you get, somebody come and touch your feet and you feel like, wow, this is phenomenal? Or is it still the quest for just making more money for your family, or just the reputation and glory? What part, drives you forward?
No, so it's definitely not money. I've never run after money. I think I said this chosen word called event management. I take it very. I said there are people in it, there are businesses in it, there are industries connected to it. I feel very high about this industry. Let's bring a change. Let's grow this industry, and leave a time where this industry is the largest industry in this country. I think that keeps me excited. So you do a lot of interviews, and are people really interested in this business of events, and do they think this is the industry and they want to invest in this industry, or they want to come along with this industry?
So Deepak, I'm sure once this interview goes viral, a lot of people will start writing to you and asking you how they can be part of this industry.
Right.
But I think the bigger question is that, we in India have entered a phase where a lot of new industries are going to be born.
Yes.
I think we are moving away now from the traditional industries. India is becoming a service economy. So I think the consumption of people in things like media, in things like entertainment, in things like fashion and design, in leisure, I think these are the things that are going to happen. And I think the exciting story is all of this is going to start new in India, start afresh in India. So who's going to take this revolution forward? It is the new entrepreneurs. It is the new founders. And I think that is the exciting story of India. The next $100 billion businesses are all going to be created by people today who are inside colleges, and all they have with them is big dreams.
Completely.
Deepak's life is fascinating in more ways than one. And there's a fantastic lesson here for everybody who wants to start his own business. The most interesting thing that I found in Deepak's narrative is the fact that he's ready to go at any point in time. There are no fears or doubts that are holding him back. So his mantra is be ready to jump, and something good will happen to you, while something bad may also happen to you. But take life as it comes in a flow, and then some amazing and magical things open up to you. The story of customer walking in to buy pasta in his restaurant, and through Deepak's passion he converted that person into a business partner, or how he hustled his way through college to set up an college himself. In fact, the day he graduated from his MBA course, the next day he launched his college. So amazing qualities. But if you look back, he's still a small town boy at heart who wants to go back to his roots and give back to society. And I think the story of entrepreneurship in India has got to be around the qualities of optimism and passion, because we are not a country that has too much of capital, but we have enough enthusiasm and passion available with all of us. So Deepak, it's been fascinating to hear your story, and we'll certainly be tracking Event Capital to see you grow up to become the father of the events management space in India. Thank you.
Thank you so much.